Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll show you the changes I've made to my i3 configuration file. I will split this video into two parts. First, startup applications, the commands that run automatically when I log in. And second, key bindings, the shortcuts I use to launch applications and perform different actions. I have my config file open and you can see the path to it here. I will include all commands in the description so you can copy them easily. Keyboard layouts. Because I type in multiple languages, I need to switch between two different layouts. The first configuration line I added uses setx kb map to set my layouts and toggle shortcut. You can customize these for your own languages if you require. Wallpaper setup. By default, i3 doesn't set a wallpaper, so I use a program called Fe, which you can install with your package manager. It is basically a photo viewer which can be used for setting wallpaper also. After installing, navigate to the folder with your image and open it with Fe. You can also open files with that in your terminal. Right click and choose File, Background, and set Scale, or other options if you prefer. This automatically creates a small script in your home directory. That script sets your wallpaper. You see, it is a simple script. And I simply add it to my startup applications so it loads every time i3 starts. The other one is Clipboard Manager. I use a clipboard manager called Diodon. You can install it with your package manager and it's great for managing clipboard history. On my system it starts automatically, but if yours doesn't, you can add it to your exec lines just like the other startup programs. I try to keep my startup apps minimal so i3 stays fast. Now let's look at the key bindings I use. Brightness controls. For laptop users, having brightness shortcuts is extremely useful. I use brightness CTL, but there are several options out there that you can install. The other one is workspace switching scripts. One functionality I find really helpful is this back and forth, which I don't know why not enabled by default. It is used to return to the previous workspace. For example, if I'm working on workspace 3 and go back and forth to workspace 2 to check some output or something, it's much easier than pressing mod, for example, 2 or 3 each time. With this script, I can switch to the previous workspace with one key binding and press it again to return. It really improves workflow and I highly recommend it. I assigned it to mod tab by default, and which is very familiar and you can simply remember it. Screenshot tool. For screenshots, I use Flameshot. My key binding for that is mod print. I run Flameshot with GUI option, which gives me a selection box and a toolbar. I can select my area and draw arrows, highlight areas and other stuff. And when I'm done, I can press Ctrl C to copy to clipboard or Ctrl S to save to disk. It shows a notification pop-up, but you can see it now because it appeared on my second monitor. Clipboard key binding. Diodon doesn't come with a default key binding to open the clipboard history, so I added my own. Mod Shift and V. I choose this because mod V is already used for vertical split in i3, and you don't want to override default bindings, otherwise i3 will show errors on restart. The last one is i3 launchers, application launchers. i3 uses D menu by default and I like it. However, it doesn't show desktop launchers. Some software I work with uses these, like Postman, Telegram, Citrix, and others. If I press Super D and type Telegram, for example, nothing appears. I prefer not to switch to Rofi. Instead, i3 includes a helpful script called i3 dmenu desktop, which does list.desktop applications. I bind it to my mod plus shift plus D, and it works perfectly for launching those applications. You see, it appears here and you can select it. And that's it. To apply these changes, you can restart i3 with mod, shift, and R. But it is better to log out and log in again so that startup applications also start. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I hope these changes help improve your workflow with i3 as much as they have helped me. Thank you for watching and goodbye.